Well, the good news is that we are one game closer to the end of the season, John. This horrendous season goes without saying. We're both feeling pretty horrendous, probably mainly down to the fact that we watched another 90 minutes that was pretty horrendous. I'm finding it more and more difficult to kind of talk about these games. What did you think of the match this afternoon?
I think it's just another example of these players embarrassing Celtic supporters again this season. It's unacceptable, but for the umpteenth time since the start of the campaign, and whether it's under Lennon or Kennedy, this team and this project is just utterly broken. And the players can't even do the bare minimum at the moment, in the sense of drawing this title past the Celtic Park derby and ensuring they don't arrive at Celtic Park as champions or can win it at Celtic Park. And I mean, that was the task, and I'm sure they set themselves that task internally. And again, they've failed. There's just the list of failures this season just goes on. And when we're looking at the Scottish Cup coming up, I don't think these players deserve a go at this Scottish Cup. I would rather see reserve and young players get a chance, because I'm sick of some of these players. I don't think they care. I think anyone who thinks that some of these players care about playing for Celtic are deluded. And frankly, they don't deserve a shot at another medal. I would rather not have them embarrass us further.
Imagine at the start of the season I'd have said to you that we would have lost the league mathematically before the third, not the fourth, derby match against Rangers. It's totally crazy, and it just shows how far we've fallen this year from previous years. In terms of the game this afternoon, I thought we started quite well, funnily enough. Moved the ball about quite well. A lot of players were involved. Turnbull was heavily involved. El Yunusi was heavily involved. Every shot pretty much went down Seagrass' throat, which was a theme for the match. But one thing I wanted to pick up and get your thoughts on as well, as the game went on, and this has been a common theme this season, we just get more and more ragged, and we get more and more affected. When football games get frantic, we don't seem to have the ability to calm things down. I remember at the Invincible Cup final, better times all those years ago, when Aberdeen scored that opening goal in that final, and Brendan Rodgers' message to his players was, calm down. And I don't feel we've got anyone at the moment who, when things get a little bit hectic, can calm it down. The last half an hour of that game was just really poor, and if anything, Dundee United looked like the more likely team, which says a lot. And that's something that has to change, obviously, next season. We need a manager who can come in with a philosophy and get the players buying into that, because it's just a real broken system at the moment.
Yeah, and it's just so frustrating because, like you say, on the hour mark, I would suggest Celtic turned into bystanders in the match, and John Kennedy wasn't much better. I thought the game completely passed him by today as well. I thought the decision to take Turnbull off was pretty baffling. Turnbull didn't have the best of games today, but he was also one of our most involved players. And I was just pretty frustrated that this has all ended in as much of a whimper. Ultimately, quite predictable. And yeah, where does Celtic go from here? I think the club need to do a massive job of communicating where we're going next year, because we've been talking for a few months now about how they might take action and might make plans and might lay out their plan for the next few years after it was mathematically impossible to win the title. Well, that's happened now, and it's happened probably earlier than anyone would have expected at the start of the season. And there's no excuses now. The board can't keep hiding in silence. Like, there's zero excuse now. There's zero excuse. We've got 2 weeks before our next game. This is the time for the club to fill that void and communicate with supporters. But are they going to do it? I very much doubt it. I very much doubt it. But you think we've got 2 weeks now in the build up to this derby, and that's just going to be filled with rumour and speculation. And the club can take control of the narrative, but I very much doubt they will, because they've let us down in every other aspect so far.
I don't think we'll get anything probably until Tuesday afternoon, and then we'll probably get a happy birthday. The thing is, I'm joking, but I'm also quite serious. That's probably the next thing we'll get. It was well documented after that cup semi-final those years ago that I think it was the gloating of Rangers board members that led the way for Dermot Desmond to push the boat out to get Brendan Rodgers, and the rest is history. So they say, if Dermot Desmond has been across what's been going on this weekend, and how difficult it's been as a Celtic supporter, if we're honest. Surely a bit of pride in him, he's thinking we need to put this lot back in their place next year, or is it as simple as that? Are we now, have we now fallen so far behind and so out of place that it's not just going to be a short-term fix or an easy fix?
I think the squad this summer is going to be pretty far behind Rangers. Yeah, I think that's the harsh reality. And you look at some of the players who are likely to leave. Now there should be a fair amount of cash coming in to help that rebuild, but it's going to be a massive rebuild, and it's a struggle for me to see Celtic hitting form in any sort of consistent basis at the start of next season. And so if we have a slow start, it's going to put us on the back foot in terms of winning silverware again next year. So I definitely have concerns. The club need to be getting on with it. Desmond needs to be getting on with it. I think they need to do some sort of deal with the SRU to try and get Mackay in quicker than July, because I don't think that situation's feasible anymore. I thought, this weekend's another dark stain on Lawwell's legacy as Celtic CEO. I know he's had some good times and good years at the club, but nobody's going to forget this weekend in a hurry, I don't think. Nobody's going to forget the way we surrendered the title. Nobody's going to forget how far behind we are. And, it's the first week of March still. It's only the 7th of March, and we've lost the league. I mean, that is just ridiculous. I mean, if we'd taken it to the last day this season and then lost out on the 10, that would have been hard enough to take. But the way that we've completely collapsed this season and offered no sort of fight at all is just completely unacceptable and points to a real lack of leadership at the club. So, yeah, Celtic have it all to prove.
There's a lot to do at the club, and it's going to be a hectic summer. I'm looking forward to it because it can't be any worse than what we've witnessed over the last 10 months. It's been completely stale this season. Even today, knowing that we had to win the game to prolong the or stop them winning the league this weekend, I still didn't find myself totally invested in that football match, and it doesn't help when the quality's so low. I thought the pitch was woeful. I know that's probably not highest up in people's concerns, but I thought the pitch was really poor, and I think pitches in general in Scottish football have been really poor this season. But as I say, I thought we played some good stuff early on, but the most worrying thing for me today, and it's happened time after time this season, is the team don't react well to any sort of setback, and a setback can even be the other team going on top for 5 minutes. We just seem to completely lose the rag. Plexiplox getting in touch, we donation there as well. At least here in the USA, people think Rangers are a hockey team. Cheers to Ayer for playing hard the whole game. Ayer was kind of alright, to be honest. I thought the subs were strange today, but thanks for getting in touch, Plexiplox. Did you have a couple of kind of areas you wanted to dredge up, John, or have you already exhausted them?
No, I think I've kind of delved into how I'm feeling today. I don't think I was expecting to feel as angry when it actually happened as I do right now. Do
you feel angry? Yeah,
I'm angry today. Yeah, I'm angry today because I just didn't see any sort of desire in that team today at all, and that's the bare minimum for me. And I've been saying on this channel for months that the league is over. Today's not a surprise. Nobody's surprised that Rangers are winning the title. But I'm angry in the way that we've just completely given it up, and I'm probably more angry than I expected to be. Yeah.
See, I feel just a general apathy that I've had the last few months. I'm just being honest. I don't feel angry. I just feel.
I understand that.
Nothing. I just feel nothing.
I mean,
that's it.
And I think it's going to be like that. I mean, we've got the Scottish Cup now. The SFA are saying that's going to be completed by May, so we know that there's going to be winners of that. But right now, that's not very good news as far as I'm concerned, because I just see the Scottish Cup as another chance for these players to embarrass us again, and that's genuinely what I'm thinking. I'm not one of these blowhards that usually goes on about sack the team and bring young players in, but I genuinely wouldn't be against taking some of the players who have let us down this season and saying goodbye to them, and letting some young players and reserve players come into the team and show what they've got in that Scottish Cup. I think we play Arbroath or Falkirk in our first round. We play that at the start of April. And it's a good opportunity to drop some of these idiots because I'm sick of them.
I mean, there should be an opportunity there for the players to go and win a trophy, but you don't feel as if even that's going to motivate a lot of the players. You just feel as if they like a lot of the supporters, are just hoping for next season when they can probably be at new clubs. A lot of them probably don't see their future at Celtic, and yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy it's been allowed to come to this. I just cannot wait until this sorry season is over. I can't wait till I can come on the channel in a few months' time and talk about transfers and talk about the new manager being in and talk about hopes for the season. That's what I'm dreaming for right now, but I don't know, at least it's over. At least it's over now. At least we can move on.
I mean, we'll get back there. I mean, people call this channel negative and call us negative, Hamish, but if any long-time listeners to our podcast will know, we've been speaking positively about Celtic for the last 4 years, or since 2016 when we started it. And we'll get back there again. We're looking forward to talking positively about Celtic again. Celtic will be back in some form. There'll be some sort of hope over the next few months. I genuinely believe that. Today's a difficult day. It's a difficult day for everyone. It's been a difficult weekend, but we'll move on and we're still Celtic.
The good news about a pandemic, and there's not been much good news, but the good news is that you don't need to go out to the pub or out to work and see members of that fan base. You can just quite simply, once you finish watching this video, turn off all your social media channels. You don't need to see anything at all, everyone. So if you feel you need to do that for the next couple of days, then I'm with you in that one. But remember to pop back into the channel. Tomorrow afternoon we'll have another video going out. We've also got Jackie McNamara coming up later in the week. Jackie, who was on Sky Sports today, and I believe he was on another channel on Friday night as well, a certain TV show. So we'll chat to Jackie and find out how it's going with him. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you've not done it yet, and we'll speak to you very soon. Take care and hail hail.